Hello, this is the Think Big for Africa podcast. My name is Ekene, your host. Today, I have another lovely gentleman. He's a comedian, a Nigerian comedian, one that is well known on social media. He posts videos. It's as if it's daily on social media, and many young people love his shows. They talk about him, and this is a young person that I think what he's doing is excellent. At least he keeps us abreast with the news, and his commentaries are something that I've followed for some time, and I really want to talk to him today. His name is Collins MECOYO. Collins, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Right.
I'm very pleased and honored to be part of the program. Thank you so much for having me.
Good. Collins, you are a comedian.
Yes, sir.
See, I love comedy. Yeah, oh yeah. I spent some time watching comedy every day. I'm not saying a week, every day I watch comedy.
Laughter for you,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, laughter. I like laughter. And for me, in the last 10 to 15 years, I I look at the way comedians present the news of what is going on around them. And it's something I like. And that's what you do. Okay. I see you are always talking about something around you. Okay.
Yes.
So tell my audience how you started in this profession.
Okay. By that you mean as a stand-up comedian or as a social commentator?
Whatever. Let's start from the beginning, and then you can gravitate to the stand-up and a social commentator.
Okay. So personally, I can't really point a particular date as to this is the date when I became a comedian. So I tell people that I was born with this.
Okay.
Like to talk. I've always also liked to make people happy.
Okay.
And so gradually I grew to understand that, watching the likes of Ali and the rest of them,
Yeah.
I came to realize that, this is actually a craft that, we can actually improve on. And then you become a star, as it's where you are not just one local champion that makes us laugh, And then eventually we decided to pursue it. For some others, they will say their parents give them issues as to why would you want to be a comedian. Mine wasn't like that. My dad wanted me to be an accountant. Yes, I gave him a certificate in accounting.
And you gave it to him.
Yes, and then I followed my dreams, and then it was never a problem to him. And then consequently, we started growing, and then, started coming to the big stages. And by the grace of God, I think every stage that there is, every platform that there is in Nigerian comedy, I've climbed it. And, so after some time, because I've also always liked, to, more like, I wouldn't want to call it like a freedom fighter, but I like to speak for the people as well, because a lot of people who have a lot to say, but they do not have that voice.
Yes.
And then, considering the little fan base that we've gotten from stand-up comedy,
yeah,
and a lot of things that are happening around us, we just looked at it and like, are we going to all keeping quiet? So that was how we started, gravitating towards social commentatorship and all that. So
So, how have you found your role as a social commentator?
Well, I think it's a beautiful and also a very challenging one. Very challenging, especially because we're dealing with people. And, oftentimes I made myself quite available, So sometimes even things that I do not comment on,
Yeah.
people will just bring them to me. I find some people bringing their marital problems to me and telling me, my boyfriend did this, my girlfriend did that. So it's quite tasking, but I think it's I like what I do. I like what I do. I enjoy talking, but I just don't enjoy talking. I enjoy talking and impacting.
Yeah.
So it's been.
Yeah. You see, to me, comedy is far from just being entertainment. Okay. I see what you and your mates in comedy do, especially as a social commentator.
Yeah.
I see it as educating the public, okay, and setting important issues straight, okay, at least giving the public more information and allowing them to explore the issue wider, okay.
Yeah.
So,
and also giving them diverse views and opinions.
Exactly. So I see you do this in your sketches, like the ones I watch almost every day on Facebook. Okay. Now, do you see this as an important role in comedy? Okay. And for more comedians to try to gravitate to this, because I watch a lot of Nigerian comedy, okay, and I see that the ones that gain a lot of followership, especially in the likes of YouTube,
yes,
are not the ones that talk about important things. Okay, there's only one YouTube chat of only one Nigerian YouTube channel that talks about something important that is flying. The other ones they just make fun of everything. Okay? Other people who talk about something important, most of our people don't watch them. So the question is that, do you think we as a society need to how do I say this? I don't know how okay. How do we make more people in a society watch people like you rather than just watching comedy that don't make any impact?
First of all, we must upload the comedians that according to you now, you might see as they are not making impact. Well, I must tell you categorically, for those of us that live that entertainment, comedians, yes, and all of us we are the life wire as it is now.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, I've always told you I watch comedy a lot. Okay, so even those that I say they're not making impact. Why do I know they're there? Because I watch them. Okay, so I watch them, but because of the situation of our countries and for Africa,
there are a lot of things to think about and make you feel sad. You rather just go and watch the guys that will make you laugh for no reason. Basically, Nigerians will like to be entertained rather than to be informed. they like more of entertainment than information.
Yeah.
So that is the basic reason why I decided to start bringing the information in an entertaining way.
Yeah.
You know, people will naturally gravitate towards entertainment than information. So they would naturally go towards those guys that are, just making fun, than some of us that, yes, in the bit of making fun, we're also giving informing you about what is happening around you.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of bad news. People don't hear bad things. So sometimes they just want to I beg, I don't hear bad news today. Might just go watch comedy. So that's why those guys more followership and then for more than us. But you wouldn't really blame the people.
No, I mean,
the truth is that those who seek knowledge, will naturally want to come and listen to people who will educate and
yes, and that's where I have a problem. Unfortunately, young people are not curious enough for me. Okay, that's for me. And if our country is supposed to develop, if our continent is supposed to develop, we need a lot of our people to be at least curious. And that's what I see us lacking. That curiosity, we only want to douse something sweet.
Yeah.
See, and it bothers me. Okay. And that's why I want to talk to you, because you guys know how to make people laugh. Okay. So how can we make that bitter pill, okay, a little bit sweeter to get them at least to start eating it?
But that is why some of us are doing what we do.
Yeah.
The truth is that the best way to catch the fowl, not to throw congiver. You need to give them first what they like.
Yeah.
And then from there, you now give them what you want them to have. So some of us have found out that over seriousness.
Yeah.
Not they work for Nigerians. If you're too serious, they're not going to listen to you. They're not going to tell you this one too serious. I beg, I'm not going to follow.
Yeah.
So you find a way to entertain them while you are informing them. I think that's just
it.
While informing them.
That's true. Now,
but then and some of these guys are not going to want to inform anybody because they just, one of the major problems that we have is that a lot of our entertainers are just after their pockets and their stomach.
Yeah.
And then, so that brings them to the area of fear. So they are scared about, I beg, I don't want anything to make them go report me. I don't want to make anybody find me. So there are people who naturally will not want to educate anybody or say, to challenge the status quo of what the government is doing or what. They are just here to enjoy themselves. And then by the grace, they have gotten a few followership that like, I beg, I do okay like this. If the rest are so don't go suffer, not concern me, I'm not going to talk, So and then you won't for that. Not everybody go be warrior. And so
that's true.
Supposed to be at home hailing them. Our warriors are in the war front. So that's what it is.
That's true. So now we have many challenges. Okay. So what are the most important challenges that we as Nigerians need to face, for example?
The first and I repeat, the first and only challenge that we have is bad leadership.
Yeah. Okay.
If we have good leadership, every other thing will fall in place. A good leadership will always find a way to tackle insecurity.
Yeah.
A good leadership will find a way to tackle poverty. A good leadership will find a way to
education, infrastructure,
great infrastructure. So these are the problems that ordinarily any other person will want us to highlight as the problems. But these major problems are offshoots of the fact that we lack leadership. It's as simple as that.
So how can we tackle our leadership problem?
As long as we keep behaving blind, the only people with one eye will continue being our kings.
Okay. Now that's the question. Why do we behave blind? Because of lack of what? Education.
Sometimes it's not lack of education. I think it is the basic reason is fear, not lack of education. A lot of people know what's happening. They are just turning blind eyes because they are scared. You know, they don't want to talk. Either because they are being fed by this same set of people that are sabotaging and you know, destroying our.
Now, when you look at the society, okay, if you get 10 random people together, okay, how many of them are scared? Wait, hold on. That their fear will not even let them say their mind to their own friends.
Out of that 10, I think 11 of them are scared. I'm talking about even for their own friends now, especially from that friend. You know, we find it very difficult to be frank in this part of the world. You know, so when they just were like, I make it not go be like saying I me talk, make it not go be like say, and that is what is keeping us where we are. You know how many people that comes to my DM and tell me now, you know, say you be comedian, you go hard for them to catch you, blah 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 blah. In my mind, I'm like, well, I'm not even noticing on my own now they fight. At least government, don't be government, they pay me. Whether I like them or not, when I go do party, when I go call me, I go do. So it is actually for you people. So it's not even for us. You know, but that fear, and then hypocrisy is too much. Everybody don't double say. The person when they tell you now, see the government's not good, it's not bad. When you follow me, agree now, see the government's not good. If your brother become governor tomorrow, nothing when he do bad.
Yeah,
everything he's doing is correct.
Okay. See, for me, I agree that many of our people are afraid. Okay, but I see even the fear is a consequence of lack of education. That's for me. Okay. Now,
by lack of education, by lack of education, you do not mean lack of Western education.
No. Okay.
Because it's about because you know why I'm saying this. It's not lack of what is lack of education? Your knowledge about a particular gaining knowledge about a particular situation, right?
Yeah.
Now these people are aware of the situation they are. So
yes.
they are aware of the situation they are.
Yes.
It is either been so accustomed to it and they're like, well, anyway, now we'll move on.
See,
or
to be accustomed to it, it's a sign of ignorance. You see? Well,
I refuse to agree that it's ignorance. I want to still reiterate that it is a sign of fear.
No.
But I mean, knowing that what you are putting on is an earphone, right? And somebody not knowing that thing is called earphone at all, it's different.
Yeah.
You understand? You know earphone, and then you know that it belongs to you, but somebody else wants to take it, or somebody else takes it, and then you know that it's your earphone that person is using, and you can't go and collect it. That is not ignorance. That is fear. So these people, they know they are not. They tell you so they don't know so they're supposed to get constant electricity. They do. And they also know that someone else might not chop the money. They do. But fear will not let them to talk. Say, now, Mr. So and so, now he in charge of power, now he make us not get light. So that's what it is, basically.
Yeah.
So more of fear than ignorance.
Well,
if it was
it's interesting. It's something for us to explore. Okay. I will start quizzing some people about this. Yes, I agree. There's a lot of fear. I agree, but I think I personally think there's a lot of ignorance about many things. You know.
Give me one reason why you think there's a lot of ignorance.
Now, see, let's take the people on your platform, okay? They talk about it, they make a lot of comments, okay? But I've engaged some of them, okay, just to drive some things out for them to talk about them. But it's very easily they start attacking, they become angry.
Yes.
Instead of them to articulate their thoughts, okay, it's a debate, but they get angry.
Yes.
You know, they are willing to talk, but they don't really understand. Many of them don't understand the issues to the level that they can talk about it confidently. So they get angry and start attacking you. I mean, there was a day I made a comment, over 30 people commented on my comment, and 50, reply to me, and 25 people of them came on abusing me. Instead of picking my comments and dissecting it if they could, but all they did was abuse.
For that, let me make a case for them for that. In Nigeria, if you talk the one where not suits me, I'll change that for you. That's how they are. That's how they are. Whether you are making a point, that's why if you see, when my people bring some topics for me, before I start out, I say, I know that this person is making a point, but this is going to be the outcome.
Yes.
That's why everybody just invests for no reason in Nigeria. That's why I don't know how well last you've been to Nigeria, but in Nigeria, you cannot just tell somebody, excuse me. No, you must put, please, excuse me. You apologize first. And now you say, please, sorry, excuse me, apologize. You understand? Because the person can just get it. So if your opinion does not align with their opinion, they believe you are attacking them. So they will attack you. So that's that's how it is. So if that's the angle from where you are coming from, the ignorance, yes, to an extent, we can admit to that. But to another extent, it's a matter of opinion, choice and opinion. You understand? But in the case of governance, right? In the case of governance, we are basically all on the same side. You understand? Know that these guys are not treating us well.
Yes.
You understand? So there wouldn't be maybe a scuffle as to why are you saying the government are not doing well? They are doing well, Joe, because we both know that it's not working well.
Yeah, it's not working.
The reason why people are not talking is because of fear.
Okay.
That's simple as.
Okay.
There are a lot of, as you type in your house like this and say, but Buhari, this law where you put no good though, or House of Rep, this law where you put no good though. They believe that they will find them with that comment and come to their house and arrest them. So they will not want to do anything. So they just stay, suffer, and smile.
Interesting. Very interesting. So
another big addition to that, pardon me, another big addition to that is poverty. And that is why they are trying to make, the populace as poor as possible. You understand? So that whatever case, you will always run back to them. You know? So they know that this, no matter what we're talking about, in 2023, this same set of people are still going to come back to power because they come and give these guys their normal 1 Congo of rice and 200 naira new ones.
Yes.
You understand? So that is expected. So poverty and fear. And what brings this fear more is even the poverty, because when you are like, arrest me now.
See, all these things are intertwined. Okay.
Yes. However.
Yes. So see, and that's why I think the only way to break the chain is education, that many more people can actually see these things and articulate them in a way that, see, because even if you're looking for a solution and you are not able to articulate the issue itself, you're not going anywhere.
Issue itself is actually the first solution that is provided.
Okay.
Before you move ahead with the way to sort it.
Okay. So I'm of the opinion that the more people will get to the stage that they can easily understand things, break it down to see what is the real issue, and then we can now begin to bring out solutions. That's my take. All right. See, I've watched so many of your videos, like I said, and you talk about a lot of things about our religious leaders. Yes. If somebody no listen well, they're going to think say you be pastor, but yeah. So how do you view their work in general? Okay, good or bad for our society, and
Good.
why?
Okay, good, and at the same time bad. Because one of the major problems that we even have in, which is also leadership, which is where leadership comes from. Because
Yes.
these guys are also leaders, yeah. One of the major problems we have in this country are religious leaders. Religious leaders who hate to tell their members the truth. You understand?
Yeah.
So they a lot of them makes their member believe that you don't have to work. You just sit down.
Yep.
And money come to you.
Yep.
Regardless of the fact that even the Bible that we all read has said that I will bless the works of your hand. You must be doing something.
Yes.
You must do something that you are doing in your hand before you go bless.
Yes.
So you see somebody, there are some churches that as I'm talking to you now, they still do night vigil on a Tuesday.
Yes.
You understand? So on Monday, they have a program. On Tuesday, they have program. On the work, they have program. And then sometimes they have that program till maybe midnight.
Yes.
And then they goes home to sleep very late and wakes up very late. Goes to the shop for say 8 o'clock. By the time 4 o'clock is coming, because the traffic in Lagos, you're already rushing to church to start another program. So how many minutes we have to sell?
Yeah.
You understand? That is notwithstanding the ones that we know that those ones now, because most of them are businessmen. Yeah, they are CEOs, but they just change the name and give them GOs, General Overseers. So many of them are CEOs. We know, you understand? But then there are still some of them that are real, as it were, who take from the little that they have and give to people, because they understand poverty in the land, So it's good or bad. A lot of people would have gone wrong by now if not that, the kind of upbringing they got from churches while they were growing up. You understand? And then this is bad, this is good. You understand? Because listen to the quality of religious extremism we have in the north now.
Yeah.
From some of our Islamic sects. You understand? So you'll understand that that's what it is basically. They have the roles they are playing for the good. They have the parts they are doing the most, not even the worst, the most of the worst. You understand? Of this pastor, if care is not taken. Anyway, even the Bible says his judgment will start from the altar. But some of them will not supposed to wait till judgment stand out. You bring their gun, not their days. Right? For so many of them, they are doing the most for real.
Well, see, once upon a time, I was a very religious young man,
Thank you for using that word, because a lot of Africans are very religious as against being spiritual, so they mistake spirituality for religion.
Okay, so I was very religious one time, but as I look back and I dissect what I was doing and what many people are doing today. I see religion in the African society as one of the main reasons why we are where we are.
Facts.
Like you said, look at, you need to work, but more than half of your day you are spent in church. You have spent half or more than half of your day in church. Okay. And you see, our society is bringing up some youths who do not understand that they need to work hard. Yeah? Looking for miracle.
That's true.
That miracle. We talk about kidnapping, ritual killing in a society.
Funny enough, the people that even conduct the ritual killing for most of them are the people when they answer pastor.
Exactly. Okay. So I see this and it pains me that we are in this space. And unfortunately, because of the indoctrination of religion, it's so difficult to talk to these people, for them to even listen to you, for them to get the point. Once you mention anything slightly negative about maybe a pastor, you're out.
They will change you for you. And that's where the problem is. A lot of them are so religious. You understand that they see the pastor as the God.
Exactly.
Forgetting the Bible makes us understand that we are all gods. We are all gods, all of us equal. We are all priests in the order of Melchizedek. But some of them, they read their Bible. So you hardly hear them say the Bible say. They say my pastor say.
Yeah. You see.
So once you dare to attack that person, they call their pastor.
You're gone.
They will find you.
So that's a big negative. Okay, it's a big negative in a society. Again, I would say it comes back to education. For me, I see many of our issues coming down to education. I know I agree with you that leadership.
That one truly does boil down to education.
Yeah.
You understand? Because my people are perishing because of lack of knowledge. And that is because they find it difficult to read their Bible for themselves and understand God for themselves.
Okay.
You understand? So as a matter of this particular issue of religious fanaticism, and the essence of our so-called spiritual fathers, anyway, they are spiritual fathers, because everybody, they do their own. So this one is boiling down on lack of education, lack of ability to read and comprehend the Bible. You understand? Because people they call their spiritual father, most of them, they just go take the part of the Bible that works for them and come and stone it to them and put a lot of with it.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of fear. I mean,
yes.
When I was about 14, that year there was a movie that they were taken to school, from school to school, Burning Hell. Wow, Burning Hell in those days, in the 80s, it was a big deal, I talk about it with my daughters. I talked about it about two weeks ago, and they were laughing. I told them, then if you see people crying in the auditorium,
wow,
they were afraid of going to hell. Well, see, I see this as a big issue with us. And if we don't do anything about it, we are not going anywhere. And these same pastors, every one of our politicians has a pastor.
Yes.
So the question is this: who is leading who?
You have a pastor that you come to, and this is why you know what I was telling you, that a lot of people are working for their stomach. So
yes.
pastors have these people who can actually listen to them because they call them daddy.
Yes.
You understand? Because you don't want to offend them, make you not forget to find your smart thing. You understand? So you will not want to tell him the truth. The day he comes to church, you change your preaching. You preach another thing. The day is not around, you preach about salvation. How many of them even preach about salvation? They only preach about salvation these days. They just want to prosperity so that the boy can grow, make money, and find them smart.
Wow. Oh, so where are we going? Where are we going?
We are the waka they go. Anywhere where we tire, we stop. It's not matter. Because if we want to ask, the only time you can ask direction is if you have someone piloting the was. But as it were, we are just like a ship without a captain at the moment. Because continue to follow the principles and policies of this current government now, or our so-called spiritual fathers now. Only God fear us if we follow them. They will lead us astray.
I've heard you talk about legislature, and you say we don't need those people.
We don't need them. Well, they are not doing for us. Do you know the musician called Small Doctor?
Yeah?
You know the musician called Small Doctor?
No.
Okay, there's a musician called Small Doctor. A song that is I. That is the only thing.
Okay.
You understand? So we don't need them. Small Doctor can do for us what they are doing. They are just and Small Doctor them. So we don't need them there. Yeah, see, we are talking about reducing the cost of governance.
Yes.
And these clouds are thinking of creating more states. And by creating more states, you are creating more House of Rep members and
members.
senators.
Yeah.
Earning another set of millions again.
Yeah.
Yeah. To do what?
No. See, they are creating more states. The state assemblies.
Yes.
All of them will be earning money. The ones at the federal, the same thing.
Yes. Just to do what? Just to go to the Senate building and be sleeping, because so many of them are sleeping. There are so many of them that if you ask them what is in our Constitution Section 2 verse, they will not know. They don't know anything. They only just to go there sleep. Then once they just wake up and they hear people saying all they supposed to say hi, they will shout hi. That's just the only thing they know how to do. So I don't know. We don't need. What are we doing? What is the job of the Senate? And what is the job of the House of Representatives? What are we doing?
What we have done is that we have copied and pasted with our eyes closed without asking this person who wrote this thing down. Why did he write it? How is it working for him or her? We just copied the American system and we pasted it back without asking ourselves, how would it work in our country?
That has always been a problem. Now copy and paste. We copy their system of government, whereas we do not live the way they live.
Yeah.
You understand? I think African legislators earn more than so many of these Western. You understand? So we just come and which is what is still happening to us now. Even with this whole Corona thing, you notice that if UK or US put lockdown now, Nigeria will put lockdown. You understand? They don't know why they put up, but they just say, now yes, they put lockdown. Why would they never put our own? Now you put our own. They will just put it.
By the way, have you taken your vaccine? see laugh.
Okay, let me pass on that.
well, I'm proud to tell you and my audience, I've taken my first shot, taken my second shot, taking my booster.
That means you are winning me with 2 now.
Okay. I've taken first, second, booster.
And the booster, you are winning me with 2.
Okay.
They win me with 2 at the moment.
Everybody in my family that is
some of us doing that.
Both in Nigeria, my father and my sisters live in Nigeria. They have also done the same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I've never had any problem with vaccines, because I mean, it's not the first time vaccines are coming.
Exactly.
So many of us took polio vaccine when we didn't even.
Not be some of us, all of us.
Almost all of us.
Yeah.
Even when we didn't not, So I've never had problem with vaccine, But some of the discussions, I just like to skip it, especially because I'm not into practice. So I just So I wouldn't want, because of the fact that I have a large followership.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to post believe on them.
Yeah.
You understand? I can only educate, as it were.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But which I stylishly mentioned, it's important for you to
Well, the interesting thing why I brought that on is that before the anti-vax drive in social media, our people were not arguing about it. It's just in recent years, maybe 2-3 years, when they started going on social media and they start reading the comments and posts of the anti-vax crowd, then many of our own people now buy into those things. You see,
that's like you saying that Africa, if there's any problem we have, if there's any set of people that can easily solve our problem, religious leaders, because these people, just like they literally follow them religiously.
Yeah.
If them all of them go take vaccine, everybody will go.
Exactly.
If nobody will go.
Exactly.
You understand? Have a very large role to play in society.
Exactly.
So stronger and more powerful in terms of their voice than even the president. You understand?
Our president doesn't have 1 ounce of the power.
Of the kind of power that these religious leaders have.
Yes. So again,
that comes out and tell them that if you take that, you are going to hell. All of them.
Again, I will ask you the question: what is our problem?
Leadership.
Okay, leadership in what area?
General leadership.
Okay. Yes.
Religious.
Okay.
Even our traditional leaders.
Yes.
Traditional leaders, there are some of them that can go to Abuja now and then they give them money for them to take care of their community. They go pocket them. Money of them. You understand? So once we get leadership right, we have everything right. You understand?
Yeah, right.
I was
right.
When a certain guy in Dubai, was how they became, how they turned from just one dusty environment into a tourist attraction, a beautiful city. And then he said only one thing. He said if Nigeria can have the kind of leader that the UAE has, that everything will just go better. Yeah. So leadership, spiritual leaders,
political leaders, whatever. What leadership? Just name leadership. Yes, I agree. But me again, I will raise my hand small. Education.
That ignorance that you want to call now, that ignorance of lack of leadership.
Yes, I agree.
Because if these leaders, just like I told you now, that these people follow their religious fathers religiously.
Yes.
If they educate these people, say, so Mr. BBB, if you go Asuro, you go tip our money, not vote for her. They will not vote for the person. These things can be very evident in the election of what's it called, Muhammad Buhari. You understand? All of these religious leaders spoke against Jonathan. They spoke against Jonathan. And maybe because some of them had genuine reasons, believe that Uncle Boo Boo would be a better person. and then the woman that was leading us, sorry, but then, then you say a lot of people gravitated and, and everyone was like, yeah, it's enough of the change. And then they did it. So if these people can educate and inform their people and say, at this 2023, make it be like this, so make it be like this. So it will go a long way.
I do agree. See, again, I will say this again. Our problem is convoluted. Everything turn inside out.
Inside out. Yeah.
So did you hear about I don't know what minister it was who went to a Port Harcourt teaching hospital to review the work that they did in the COVID ward. And then he said the government gave all the 52 teaching hospitals across the country 950 million naira to renovate and buy equipment. Did you hear about it?
Another question of leadership.
So
because those hospitals are led by someone.
Yes.
Who is also, if you permit me to use, a criminal. It's also a criminal. You understand? So that is what it is. So give or take, those money might have reached those people's hand. And then this is where the leadership this leadership thing keeps coming in. Now you give people money. Why you not follow them to the end?
Exactly. That's the point. You give them money without making a process when you follow up. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, leadership. You understand? So you give somebody 200 naira to build a particular thing, and you could not pay somebody 10 naira to follow him up. Say, follow him, ensure say do him. If you not do, I go quick arrest him before you finish the money. Yeah. You now waited when he has finished the money, or he has invested the money in such a manner that he has gotten so powerful that if you take him to court, he has enough money to get lawyers and ensure that he doesn't go to jail. So it's all about, I keep hammering on leadership. The good leadership, we know that you don't just give somebody money and tell him to go buy granite for me. Then the person goes and buy granite and buy refuses to buy granite, decide to go and buy body for himself, chop finish. Yeah. And then you did not follow him up to know whether the thing when you send them, whether I don't buy and go keep for where you tell them make keep up. Yeah. Now, many years later, they come and say, we push us up all of Naklana. At the end of the day, when you chop the money, tell us say somebody has embezzled it. Then you take the person to court. How many of the people that have been tried for embezzlement are actually in
jail?
Yeah. How many of them?
Yeah. See, even though I talk about education, yes, I agree 100% that leadership is the number one thing we need to strive to.
Every other problem is an offspring of lack of leadership.
Yes. Everyone. I mean, look at UAE, Singapore, okay, Rwanda in Africa, Ghana now, okay.
Little Rwanda. You've not talked about Ghana.
Oh, yeah,
Ghana.
So these are signs that once leadership is in place, a good leadership is in place, things will start working. Yes, I agree. I do agree. But in Nigeria, it go hard.
It shock me. Say it go hard. Do you know why it go hard?
Tell me.
Yeah, why it go hard is because a lot of people have so customed their minds that that I beg God, just the way to make it reach my tongue, I go thief my own.
Yep.
You understand? So we have been so taught about believing that this wrong thing that we are doing now is the right thing. I did a video about a certain SUG vice president elect that was elected And then he listed about 39 aides for office of vice president of student union government. Now that God knows what the president, how many aides that the president. So when you say you go add, I can understand. That's why when I starting youths in government, our problem is foundational. It's not about just putting youth in government.
Yeah.
It's not about, we need to put a structure that tells people that if you chop public money, we will Korea you. We will South Korea you. You understand? So once people have the understanding that if I chop this money now I go payment, nobody will tell you that they just elected you. You are thinking of employing 39 aides for office vice president of student union. Student union.
See, this shows how foundational a problem is. Okay, because
the next to become president is not going there because he wants to come and help you.
Yeah.
To go and steal. And the reason he's able to do that is because he knows that if I teach, nothing will do.
Nothing will happen. Yeah.
And if he knows that if I steal now, they will put me for cross, name me. He not go try him.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what it is. A problem is foundation.
So, MECOYO, see, I will ask you a hard question. We're about to end this interesting conversation. So I will ask you my last question, but it's a big, difficult question.
We have seen 99. When we see 100, we will pursue it.
Okay. So, what's your vision for Nigeria and Africa in the next 10, 20, 30 years? With all this buhaha.
I just keep hoping and praying that in the next election, but I'm speaking basically for Nigeria now, that God will give us a leader that we have the fear of him and also have vision. You understand? That will be a beginning of our transition into glory. But if that doesn't happen, then that will be, if you ask me, the greatest doom that can ever happen. Because why I'm saying that is that I'm saying this in context to the 20 years that you called.
Yes.
Because the damages that have been made by this current administration in collaboration with the past administrations, right? It will take another 20 years to be able to fix it with the right leadership. Now, so if by next time we do not have a good person who has vision and governance will to govern and not just to steal.
Yes.
It will just extend it to another extra 20 years. Because that's going to give us another 8 years of decay. You understand? And you know when you are spoiling, just spoil before the day, easier to spoil.
Yes.
You understand? So this next 8 years now can spoil more than what these people don't do for just 6 years when they give them. You know, when you are spoiling what has been spoiled, it's easier. If they don't, this building, for example, if a caterpillar or something might have pushed it already, you now as an individual, once you push it small hand, the job goes on.
Yeah.
It just be falling on its own. You understand? So if the next person has no plan, then it's going to be another several years of decay. Ideally, I am one of those people that believes in Africa. I believe that Africa can do it. If Dubai could do it, Africa can do it. We have a lot of resources, you know, that we can be, apart from this oil we're talking about, we have several reserves of gold mines. We have
all the things.
What are we talking about? We have
but like
everything.
you said, without the leadership, everything is like rubbish.
It's,
Yeah.
it's always.
Well,
It's always. It
well,
just takes people to understand that we have all these things, like I've said, and be able to harness them, and then we can be better than where will be Dubai. With Dubai, we can even do and buy the Dubai.
Well, you have your role, and you're playing it well at the moment. Okay.
We keep trying. We keep trying now.
I applaud you for what you are doing, and please do more. Continue doing more.
Thank you.
And beg your followers not to abuse me when I ask questions. See, what I do is ask questions. Yes, I ask difficult questions. Tell them not to abuse me.
Of course. No, that will just be a plea to them. It is still within their prerogative to agree, because of course we get to not end.
Yes. Yes. All right. Collins, thank you very much. Thank you very for being here.
It's my pleasure. I'm really honored to be on the platform. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you.